for a long time.
I've had it for 15 years.
That explains everything.
Could be linked.
I haven't had sex since I got rabies.
Welcome to Undercooked Analysis, where we
So we do something.
figure out we're into something. Who knows?
I'm a noob.
We're undercooking. We're undercooking something.
We've got uncooked spaghetti in our pants.
I was gonna say we're undercooking Benjamin's noodle.
Yeah.
He is getting less and less turned on
my
by this.
noodles al dente. Thank you very much. Semi-hard.
I don't like this conversation.
All right, well, delete it.
Delete it. Let's start this episode even more so. All right, everybody, welcome to the Lost Cryptids. Wow, I'm off to a great start apparently. Welcome to the Lost Cryptids.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shout over you.
Cryptoids episode.
This is just a train wreck.
Choo-choo!
Kind of like our podcast.
Oh, all right. You might want to do that. You might want to do that one more time, just so that I'm not like freaking steamrolling over you talking.
When are you ever not?
Shut up!
Or maybe like okay, so we had our cryptid contest, and I had learned from multiple people. They had messaged me and said, "Hey, why didn't you read my story?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they said, "Well," I said, "What's your story?" And when I got the title, I'm like, "That doesn't sound familiar." And I heard from one person. I thought, okay, stuff happens. Maybe it accidentally got into the, oh my goodness, like the junk mail or whatever, and I apologized, and they said, we will promise we can read your story. But then more people stepped up and were like, hey, I want to know what's up with my story. And again, more titles that we did not read, and I think it was absolutely a technical issue, and they understood that. But I think we all agreed it's like their stories deserve to be read and judged. So for those, we are so sorry, and I'm so sorry about the technical issue, especially with the email. And that's why we've created a new email specifically for writing contest, which is creativehorrorwriting@outlook.com. We are not messing with Google again for this.
You should also submit any stories.
Damn you, Google!
So submit stories to me at 123fakeemail.com.
See, Benjamin, I knew you were behind all of this when you said you took that unpaid internship at Google. I knew you just wanted, because we recorded the second part of this in your house while you were asleep, and you got jealous, and you were like, I want to be the video game boy. I want to be the podcast boy. And so I knew that you engineered this whole snafu.
I mean, that does sound like me.
It's because he hasn't had sex in 15 years.
And I have rabies.
It'll do something to him, man.
Been 20 years since I've had sex like this.
I just spoiler alert, I am the Gmail cryptid.
I knew it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
So for those who are wondering, why is Ben here? He didn't judge the original one.
I've been asked that question so many times.
Why is Ben here?
Oh, Benjamin.
Oh, me.
Please leave.
So I because I was the one who collected the stories, and because I know the people who they actually approached me and said, here's my story. I know who wrote what.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be an unfair judge in this case, so I'm going to bow out this time, but I figured we need a judge who knows nothing about this at all.
Yep.
But is actually...
I know nothing.
Well, at least you don't know anything about these people, like who these people are or anything like that, but you do know writing. That I do know you do know.
That I do know you
Thank
do.
you.
So I figured, yes, you would make a great judge. And also, you know Eli and Kylie very well.
Who the fuck is this guy?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
You slept in my house!
That's
Fucking-
debatable.
We wrote
What?
verses together.
Define sleeping.
Wow.
laying horizontally on a mattress.
I guess we never sleep then.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, but you did sleep at my house because you did lay horizontally on a mattress.
That's true. That did happen.
Yeah.
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 We all
So-
did.
Yeah.
And you
Oh, yeah,
got
I
my
probably-
rabies.
Oh no! Now
Should
I'll never
I
have sex
introduce
again.
you guys? Or if people are listening to this, they probably... God, great start. So I'll introduce the guest judges. Our original guest judges are here, Eli and Kylie from Animal Fact Files.
Hello.
What up?
It is us.
It's me. It's Kylie.
And
It's both of us.
and again, special guest judge, Benjamin Spiegel.
What's up? Yeah! Fireworks! One really badly placed explosion. Oh no, millions are dead.
Benjamin,
What?
I'm sure that recorded perfectly fine on your end,
Uh-huh.
but each time that you screamed, Zoom like yeeted your voice into the void.
Sounds about right.
Oh, that was beautiful.
All right.
Let's jump into the ship.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess so what's the first one in yours? Mine. So the first story I have listed is Karen.
Yeah,
Karen.
that's what we have. Hey, Karen.
Yeah. So let's read our first story. Karen.
Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Karen.
It probably is going to go where I expected it to go. Now, I've never read these stories before. None of us have read these stories before. We are reading them for the first time on this podcast, and we're judging it.
Was I not supposed to read these 3 days ago?
Benjamin.
You never received them. What are you?
Benjamin,
But yeah,
we
we're judging him live. Or I'm not judging him. They're judging him live.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I'm
judging
judging
you.
I'm just basically acting as the, I don't know, Vanna White of the of the stories. Let's go to our next contestant.
So wait, who's
Or is
Pat
it more
Sajak?
like- Or am I more like, yeah, I'm more like Pat Sajak, aren't I?
more like Sat Pajak, am I right?
Hey!
Okay, full disclosure, I might be a little inebriated, but
For real?
Wait, for real?
a little, not a lot, a little.
Would you have?
Adult root beer, except not, because that's actually a thing.
Yeah.
Adult beer.
so just beer then.
as opposed to the child's beer.
Yeah, you know, kid beer,
Okay.
child's beer.
So, this one's a bit longer, like it's barely under the 1500.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
So,
Uh,
what order do we want to do?
I'll go
this in?
first. I'm I'm gonna go first.
Do it.
All right, you two can figure out what happens after that.
All right, Benjamin, go get your mom. She can read next. Your mom's cool. What's wrong
I like
with
your mom.
Yeah.
I never said anything was wrong with that. My mom's not here at the moment.
Can you leave
Sounds
a
like a
message?
you problem, not a me problem.
Do you want me to call her up?
Sure,
No.
sure.
Mummy.
Okay,
Mummy,
okay.
I need your assistance. We're reading stories. I need you to read the story that you can't see.
Mom, I have rabies and I can't read because I haven't had sex in 15 years.
I guarantee you I would have trouble seeing if I hadn't had sex in 15 years.
All right, sorry.
But that's a me problem. Most people would be fine.
I'm not Pat Sajak. I'm basically the cat herder.
Yes. All right, topic.
and we're all
Shut up.
like us.
Shut up, I'm reading. Shut up. Shut up. Topic. Noise complaint. How many noise complaints does it take before the city starts issuing out tickets? There's been There has been loud music playing in my neighbor's yard for the past 3 days that is terrible to listen to. My youngest son, Michael Owen, can hear it from his room and is now repeating some of the bad language. I just had to explain what a wet-ass P-word was to him, and I couldn't be more disgusted. Please get your children under control. I just want to say...
This is from the perspective of Ben Shapiro?
I actually knew somebody named Michael Owen, so that was very weird.
Oh, that is weird. I don't know. Who wants to go next?
You go.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do we worry about the most? Poisonous snakes in a different country? A giant sea monster miles away from the safety of your home? What to do when coming face to face with the Bengal tiger? Ironically, the most dangerous creatures are the ones that can live among us.
Among us.
Posing as
Among us.
posing as ordinary people from an initial glance.
What is so a lot of these things are not daily problems you have to deal with.
This sounds like a snakeman, a Sahagin.
Oh yeah.
Wait, are you saying this is written by a reptilian?
Could be.
Yes. Yep, could be.
Not that the author themselves is a reptilian, but like that the perspective is a reptilian.
Right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Quick question: is a reptilian a cryptid? Does that fall under the cryptid umbrella?
There are cryptids that can be reptilian, but not all reptilians are cryptids.
Okay, all right. The exact origin of the Karen has been scrutinized for some time. Armed with oversized purses, loose golden bracelets, SUVs with 3 to 7 preachy bumper stickers, and bleached blonde hair that almost looks natural. The modern Karen appears to be human by design. Listen, Karen is proof of intelligent design. Many have speculated that these creatures began appearing during the dawn of the World Wide Web. In reality, the earliest confirmed Karen sighting can be traced back to the 1800s. During this time period, a woman named Joanna Southcott claimed to be the woman of the apocalypse, a figure written in the Book of Revelations. She was able to start what was essentially a cult over 100,000 followers.
That was half the human population at the time.
I was gonna say,
Dang.
due to inflation, that's like due to inflation, that's like 17 billion people.
Wait,
What
back
the-
to the 1800s, and she's a figure written in Revelations? What?
Like she was.
She named herself after a
yeah,
figure
she's
from
like-
Revelations.
Oh.
She's referenced.
Well, no,
Or
I
she
think
claims
it's-
to be what they were referencing.
because Revelation was supposed to be prediction.
Oh, she
predictive.
claimed to be the woman of the apocalypse who is a figure. Okay.
Yeah.
No, she wrote the Bible.
Same.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of Karens do claim basically that they've written the Bible.
Yeah.
It's like, I know the Bible better than anybody.
It looks like there were about 1 billion people in 1800. So
Okay, so yeah, you
Okay. So
you
it's like
only
a tenth of the-
undershot it by like several billion.
I mean,
I was pretty close. About 15% close.
10% of the world population for a cult. That's impressive.
That is.
All right, well
pretty impressive.
that's pretty good for jazz, but that's awful for like I don't know, warfare.
Yes.
Yeah, you ever heard that expression where it's like
No.
close enough for jazz?
No.
It's like, you know, jazz it's very improvisational. You don't have to be like completely like I mean, you should be a good musician, but you don't have to like adhere to the rules of music as much.
I've only ever heard good enough for government work.
But same thing.
Oh. In 1814, at 64 years old, she allegedly claimed to be pregnant with the new Messiah who would bring about the end of the world.
Why does the second Messiah bring about the end of the world? Why is it always the second one?
But it's just the new. It didn't say second.
Well, I assume there's only been one other, at least according to biblical history. I'm not saying this is point of fact.
You don't know. Maybe there was more Messiahs.
Bold of you.
No, there's only one and a half. This is the other half. They fuse together and form a Messiah Voltron. Anyway,
To help
Go
spread
ahead.
her message, a follower named Mary Bateman created the hoax known as the Prophet Hen of Leeds. Pregnant.
No one's gonna know why you said that.
That's fine. Where she would use a corrosive substance to etch the words "Christ is coming" onto eggs, then reinsert them back into the chicken before bringing it out to a crowd of people. What?
Whoa.
Oh,
The chicken would then lay the eggs with the words on them in front of crowds, thus symbolizing the end of days. In the end, Southcott would die before giving birth to her alleged messiah.
that was actually a thing, wasn't it?
That actually was.
I swear that's
well,
a thing that happened.
I know there was something where a woman. I thought it was like golden eggs. Like
Something.
that's like
Yeah.
like there was actually someone, but I thought that was like medieval times. But there was someone who did claim like her chicken laid these type of eggs,
Mhm.
and then she would stick them back into
Ugh.
Yes.
the chicken, and then yeah.
And
Could
then
you imagine
claim-
someone
yeah.
sticking something like you pushed out some semi-large object and then they just shoved it back up like your urethra or something?
At least they weren't kiwis.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
You and your kiwis.
Bro, have you seen
Have you seen
kiwi
the size
eggs?
of kiwi eggs?
I assume they're really large.
All right, we're gonna have to have a discussion after the podcast.
I need to know more about these eggs.
All right. Well, I'll help you out. Anyway, Southcott, Bateman, and other humans from this group are believed by some to be the true origin point of this creature's existence. While ties to the modern Karen and Christianity are commonly seen, the stronger ties are in the actions that cause sadness, hardship, and general social discomfort. We call this PDA, public displays of annoyance. Karens feed off of misery. It's how the creature is able to gain enough energy to split into multiple versions of itself to reproduce. Based on the available research we have, this process may take anywhere from 30 to 40 years to complete. This does mean, however, that new Karens can split into newer versions of themselves at around the same rate as new human generations emerge.
Let's see. Despite their possible origin and involvement with cults, the modern Karen is typically a solo hunter. Karens need to cause as much misery as possible in order to survive. The less misery that has to be shared amongst a pack of Karens, the better it is for an individual creature. In the past, this was easier said than done. The most optimal way of causing mass hysteria was to heighten the fears of entire villages. Witchcraft, sin, and the end of days were the ideal catalysts to create an abundance of misery, especially during those older time periods. However, it could take several Karens to pull off such a hoax.
Pyramid of Karens. Nowadays, however, we have new ways of obtaining, spreading, and talking about pretty much anything. The internet, particularly social media sites like Facebook and Twitter, might as well be Buffett's. Warren Buffett's.
Jimmy Buffet.
Jimmy Buffett's, yes.
Jimmy Buffet is my
Come
favorite.
on down to Margaritaville. All right, might as well be buffets. A single ignorant tweet from one Karen today can cause more chaos, misery, and infighting amongst humans than an entire group of creatures from the 1800s ever could. And they eat that shit up. Literally. Causing mass annoyance and distress online that directly impacts the behavior of human beings in the real world, creating an environment where Karens can thrive. Also, that they can't eat that shit up literally. Are they eating tweets?
No, they're eating that shit.
Yeah, it's poop.
They're
Ew.
eating literal poop.
That is what was written, and they eat that shit up. Literally, they literally eat that shit.
They literally eat poop.
That's
I
what
mean,
it says.
I
It
could-
says that they literally eat it.
I could also
Like
see it.
koalas.
Yeah.
I could also see it
Exactly.
being that they literally like sustain themselves off of the metaphorical shit. Like they literally eat the infighting, misery, chaos, etc. Like
So they Oh, wait. So are we saying that the Karens eat that or that the people
Yes.
eat that? Okay.
I mean, but like the word literally being there, should not be there.
Yeah. No.
That's what we're gonna get.
Your mom shouldn't be there.
Whoa.
Topic, new lawn care life hack. So recently I've been having these problems with pests ruining our new tomato plants, mainly squirrels and rabbits. So I've been feeding them scraps filled with egg slacks. Oh no. In order to keep them away from the yard. I don't think the animals get hurt by this, and I no longer have to see them. Has anyone tried this? It's a real win-win. It's so awful.
We gotta apply it directly to the forehead.
Head on. I sent you a picture of the kiwi egg.
Jesus Christ! Holy shit!
Yeah, anyone
whoa.
interested, look up the proportions
Look up
of a kiwi egg to the skeletal structure of a kiwi.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like the skeletal image of what like the little bean characters from shit, what was that game that was super popular on PlayStation where it was like the little bean characters where they're like in an obstacle course basically?
Fall Guys.
Yeah, Fall Guys. You ever see like the skeletal structure of those creatures?
No.
I haven't actually.
It's really bizarre. Like their like leg bones take up their entire body.
Honestly, this picture is so cryptidy. I almost want it to be the YouTube picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is
Like-
it is pretty cryptidy. And I bring that up specifically because we're talking about animals and giving them things that you don't know whether or not they would get hurt by it. Please do not ever do that ever with any animals
No.
at all.
No.
Like, please
No.
don't. Like, because I've known people who are like, "Oh, I gave my dog an ibuprofen," and it's just like,
Yeah.
"You did what? You did what? Why did you do that? Like, please don't. Please just don't.
Mm-mm.
It's not cool." That's been the PSA with Kylie.
Agreed.
This has been PSAs with Kylie.
I think it's Benjamin.
No, it's my turn, but I thought you were gonna say something.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
I got nothing.
Skeletons.
Head empty, just skeletons.
Skeletons. With this in mind, it is important to raise awareness for how to spot a Karen, whether it be online or in a public space. From a physical perspective, it's almost impossible to obtain any decisive evidence. Finding
You
a
just
Karen,
gotta shoot him and hope that it was one.
you've got about a 15% chance.
And as we all know, that's pretty good odds according to Eli and Kylie.
Finding a Karen,
Never let them be in charge of a war.
Finding a Karen. Well, if I was Bigfoot and in charge of a war, I think I'd do okay.
I see. What's really funny is based off of the context that everyone else has, people probably think you mean the cryptid Bigfoot.
I think so. It's probably what they think I mean, and we're not.
And
We're
you know
just
what?
gonna leave it at that.
Let's just leave it that
Yeah,
way
we're
because
just
that's
leave it-
way funnier.
Yeah.
You wanting to be Bigfoot and also have a position in the military.
That's me. Finding a Karen isn't always as easy as spotting a middle-aged woman complaining to an Olive Garden manager for a lack of breadsticks. In fact, there's very little trustworthy documentation regarding what these creatures actually are. A few sources have claimed that they are witches, suggesting that some of the historical cases where a woman was executed for witchcraft were actually Karens getting killed for performing PDA. This could be possible, as Mary Bateman herself was tried and hanged for witchcraft in 1908. If true, it could mean...
1809.
Or
sorry.
1809.
Oh, sorry, I'm dyslexic. 1809. If true, it could mean the infamous Salem witch trials may require further investigation.
Could have been 1869. Ayy.
Hey.
It couldn't have been 1869. That's not when the Salem witch trials were happening.
Not with that attitude, it wasn't.
More like 16.
I should have wished harder.
God, I just really wish that those people had gotten killed 60 years later.
so that I could do it for the meme.
There are several other theories that have been postulated over the years, including one where the creature is a biped with human-like skin and plant-like material that make up its vital organs. That's just called a vegan.
Oh.
A self-own. If true, it is speculated that it converts misery into energy using a process similar to photosynthesis. Same.
Hey, this is what I was talking about earlier.
They're not people. That wasn't part of the stipulation. They have to be people.
You moved the goalposts in that
I
conversation.
did not move check the audio. Roll the tape back.
What, listen to you talk about having crabs for 20 minutes?
Yes, you gotta re-listen to all like 400 hours. Listen. I only have another 173 hours and 8 minutes of recording time. We better hurry this up because time is of the essence.
On that note, others claim that their true form is best described as a featherless, flightless vulture with 2 raptor-like legs, suggesting that the Karen is a scavenger or opportunity hunter whose true appearance resembles that of an ostrich. In short, theories have linked Karens to everything from alien sightings to unexplainable phenomena. They've even been linked and tied to other cryptid sightings. In certain cases, they may be responsible for fabricating the existence of other cryptids in an effort to cause fear, paranoia, and by extension further misery amongst gullible humans.
So for this next bit, should I read all these bullet points, or are we gonna take turns reading the bullet points?
Probably take turns.
They're pretty long.
Okay. Yeah. You can read the first one.
Okay. Well, there's an intro to it, so
you can read the intro in the first one.
Okay. You hear that, everybody? I can do it.
Can
I'm so proud of you.
With that all being said, there are many ways to gather more circumstantial evidence that may help implicate a Karen. Number 1. Many Karens have been known to not have great eyesight. They are very narrow-minded creatures and are rarely able to read a room. This room ain't got no words! When desperate for nourishment, they will try to pick up a singular target in a public space and go after that target as much as they can, even in a room filled with other people, mainly at the store, Target.
They go after that target at a Target.
Yeah, they target people at the Targets.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Well, not number 2. While not always the case, if a woman comes up to you and starts talking about their pet and says, "I didn't choose him, he chose me," it is very possible you are dealing with a Karen.
Number 15. Number 3. Karens act entitled in public spaces and online. It is unknown if the creature actually feels this sense of entitlement, or if it is yet another tool in its arsenal to cause PDA amongst large groups of people. Again, to potentially cause further misery for the group down the line.
Number 4. It has been widely speculated It's been widely speculated that Karens inhale misery through their open nose and mouth. Wearing a mask may somewhat prevent a Karen from doing this.
Oh my god.
If you see a woman protesting about having to wear a mask, it is very possible that you are dealing with a Karen.
Number 5,069,000,000. Oh wait, that's how Eli and Kylie do math. Number 5.
What?
I only overshot it
That's
by like
mean.
4. No. I'm sorry.
I'm so hurt.
I can't do math.
I don't think I can continue for 15 more minutes.
We're Dunyan rings professionally.
This is professional.
Yeah. Finally, should you come face to face with a Karen, just relax and walk away from the situation as best you can. It doesn't matter what the Karen wants from you. It only craves your negative attention and a bombastic retort. Do not be a source for its nourishment. Walk away and remember that they need you more than you need them. Or you could just pepper spray.
History has a funny way of repeating itself. We're all 10. We're all 100,000 followers of Southcott's teachings, Karens themselves. No, in fact, most of them were probably ordinary human beings like everyone else in their time period. The end result was confusion, chaos, and the belief that the end was near. Enough misery to go around for the Karens that helped orchestrate the event. Today, the topics of conversation have changed, but the tactics of turning people on themselves have remained the same.
The world is going to end. My neighbor is a witch. The election was rigged. If anyone agrees with that guy, they are a racist and deserve to die.
The context may change, but the pen is still mightier than the sword. If there's anything we can learn from this creature, it's that our words do have meaning and can cause monumental stress onto others when that power is misused. In the face of anxiety and hardship, just do your best and be as positive as you can. Otherwise, like a moth to a flame, a Karen might take a liking to you.
Or just learn a different language and forget English.
Bruh.
I'm trying.
That you can't get mad if you don't understand what they're saying.
Actually, I think that usually makes them more mad.
We could just give them rabies.
Yeah. No, that gets Karen's mad, but you can't get mad because you wouldn't know what they're shouting about.
I'm not going to give my perspective on the story because I don't want to have you mess with your guys' judgment, but I will ask what you guys thought of it.
Can I guess before you?
No.
I can do this later. Can I guess who wrote this?
Later on, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Not right now. Read the
not
other.
now.
Let's read. Not now, because I don't want to mess with this.
No, that's fair.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, specifically from a writing perspective,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's well written. It feels like a first draft. It feels like there were definitely grammar errors that I noticed. And this is coming from somebody who's really anal about editing and copy editing and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why I'm kind of focusing on that. That it does feel like a first draft. So I think in terms of when you submit something like this, it's always nice to even just maybe have somebody give it a look over just to see if there are any typos or anything like that. I think that's good for anything that you're submitting.
Yeah.
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 That does not make it a bad story. That's just me talking about how do you put that
the form,
editing,
the editing, the
format,
the formatting,
yeah,
writing.
yeah. But
I want to say the logical aspect of the writing, but I don't think that'll make sense to anyone else.
So the writing.
The writing.
Good.
What did you think?
No, I liked it. I think if I have a complaint about it, I think it might be too long. I feel like it could be condensed more, which you said it came in right under the limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take it under the limit.
From what I read, it's about 1492.
Oh wow.
Okay, so
Oh, my favorite. No, wait, that's not my favorite year.
It better not be.
yeah, what?
I was gonna make a joke, and I was like, wait a second, that was a very bad year.
We about to get real political on here, Benjamin?
haven't
I was
already.
about to get fake political, and now I regret my entire life.
Same.
You didn't already?
No, just the last 15 years. But no, I think I really like the concept. I like how funny it is.
It is funny. Yeah, it made me laugh.
But I do think that some of the almost I don't even know the right. See, I'm having the same problem as you. I don't know how to word it properly. The almost subplot type stuff.
Yeah,
Could be taken out.
The two headers.
Branches.
Yeah.
That are coming out of it. You could just be condensed.
I got a little confused as to why those were there.
I mean, you all thought that they were eating poop, and then it clarified later that they weren't eating poop.
Wait, did the story say they literally did not eat poop?
Yeah. Number something.
Number 1001. By the
Yeah.
way, when I said literally, I didn't mean literally eat poop.
Number 4. It's been speculated that Karens inhale misery through their open nose and mouth. Wearing a mask may somewhat prevent them from doing this.
I mean, inhale, it's not the quite same context as imbibe.
All right, look. Are you trying to tell me that misery is slang for fecal matter?
I mean,
Bruh.
according
That shit makes me happy.
according to
okay?
the story.
Not just like in general, but I'm saying like when it.
I just want to just say a general sorry to everyone that I'm being so contentious tonight. I don't know where that's coming
Look,
from,
I'm
just in a mood.
I want to throw in my 2 cents. Something you can't live without is pooping.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right. Anyway.
Oh,
Benjamin.
okay. So you're not gonna contend that. All right, fine.
Hey, Benjamin, what do you think?
I think that pooping is overrated.
You know,
I haven't done it for 15 years.
I think I can agree with you on that.
I don't even agree with me. Anyway,
He hasn't been able to poop for 15 years.
Yeah, because I have rabies and I haven't had sex. We're just compiling this list of stuff that I can't do. But
Please
guess
continue.
what? I can still tap dance, and that's all I need.
Beautiful.
I'm proud of you.
So yeah, no, I mean I agree with all your main points. The spelling and yeah, these two like sections where it's like some sort of like online posting, and we're seeing a Karen talk about that. Like it should give context to why this is part of this story, or like why, like are we reading a thread and then this is like giving you examples of that?
Yeah, like I agree. Like there's the context isn't there, and I'm just like, why does this exist in this space?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I am unironically going to be contentious. I actually really like that format. I just feel like there's other stuff in the story that doesn't need to be there.
Like the format's fine, and like the changing the font is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like to like draw the attention that it's different. I'm just like, again, like I feel like this happened with a previous one of the stories. Why?
Yeah.
Why is
I don't
it
remember
here?
which one
Like,
it was, but it was another one for the contest,
yeah,
wasn't it?
I'm just.
Yeah. Also, Eli, I will say that I don't think that the format itself is a problem.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you that it is like that it can be good, or that particular part of it. Like I'm not saying that part of it is bad.
Yeah,
It's
of course.
just I need the context as to why it's there, because like the stuff that like like Homestuck, of what little of it I've seen, it's shown like contextually as a forum post. So if I can't see like the little arrows there, like it needs to be formatted in a way where I know where this is being shared, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Yeah, I got you. I
think my biggest question in all of this overall, though, is: are we talking about a cryptid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Do you think so?
I feel like we never defined cryptid.
Well, then if it hasn't been defined, then I guess everything counts.
I'm gonna look up what cryptid, like
All right.
the typical dictionary definition of
Sure.
what cryptid is.
Obama
Also-
confirmed for cryptid.
Okay,
Well,
so
a lot of
the
people
and-
thought Obama was a reptilian.
Okay,
Oh,
here
he's
we go.
not?
An animal that has been claimed to exist but never proven to, contrary to popular belief.
Yeah, Obama.
Cryptids don't have to be supernatural, mythical, or even strange at all, though many popular creatures acquire these characteristics as their legends grow.
I mean, I think that counts then.
Yeah.
I
want to clarify.
It seems pretty vague. Like pretty much anything could be a cryptid by that definition. Is it like
Well,
What's it?
it did specifically say an animal.
I want to clarify. The Obama thing was a joke. Please don't cancel me.
Oh, you are already canceled.
Obama's like gonna come cancel you.
Yeah.
With a tactical nuke.
Cancel
like
me,
there's
daddy.
But I feel like there's also a style to how cryptids, like, when you think of a cryptid.
Yeah.
Because as I go through it, it's any creature that may or may not exist, or someone whose existence or survival is disputed or unsubstantiated, such as the Yeti.
Mhm.
So, but I feel like there's a culture now around cryptids.
Yes.
Cryptid culture.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gone too far now though, because like you're not able to get new GPUs, and like there's they're renaming the Staples Center. Freaking, Matt Damon is like coming at me going like, oh, invest in Cryptid coin.
Cryptid. All right.
That
we
was-
probably should get.
That was like a deep cut.
Jeez.
Look, I was gonna go for the easy joke and just say that with the unsubstantiated nature and everything, are we just gonna come out and say that Benjamin's sex life is a cryptid? I'm sorry, I love you, Benjamin,
I have rabies.
All right. So the
and
next
that's why I
story-
love you.
The next story that I have here is Pale Gorgon.
Okay.
Okay.
The fuck did you just call me?
You heard what I said. Damn it.
It's Benjamin's turn, right? Because you read last, right?
It's
babe?
always Benjamin's turn. Yeah, I read last.
Wah, wah, wah.
Ooh, wah.
Okay, so just for context, by the way, we haven't we didn't fully talk about how that, like, in the last story, like those sections that like may have been from a internet forum, like they were a different color than the rest of the thing, and they were a larger font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for this, I'm going to clarify that this opening paragraph that I'm about to read is done in like a typewriter format.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same size as the rest of the stuff, but it's a different font. So just FYI.
Yeah.
In the middle of the 1990s, a Turkish television program entered production only to be swiftly cancelled. Themed around fostering love and understanding for nature around Turkey, only one episode was partly filmed. The following transcript is a portion of recorded voiceover translated from Turkish as accurately as possible. So,
Okay, that
badly.
they actually. So the writer
Yeah.
actually clarifies
Boom.
what the next piece is.
That is exactly what we needed in the last one. This is like, it's like a perfect example of like,
Look.
here's what we were.
I'll tell you what a
criticizing
perfect example is.
and
The
A
frickin'
15
that-
years
that
of not
egg-
having sex.
That egg inside of the frickin' kiwi.
What?
Example.
Look, y'all are just making me question some things about myself tonight, okay?
I hope this
do
doesn't awaken anything in me.
Well, do I just have like a confusion kink? Like, does it arouse me when I'm confused by stories?
Oh, I'm confused.
I'm al
The next-
dente.
Then the next story is write your most confusing story and see how turned on Eli will be by the end.
Oh God, yes.
This is
Which
like
story?
you
Which
just
confusing story?
Eli, have you ever read Finnegan's Wake?
18 plus only. No, I've read.
I feel like you might die of exploding boner because it's so confusing.
Look, I've heard the part about the waterfall with the Welsh name or whatever, and that was enough. Like
Have you seen Primer?
16-day
Ooh,
orgasm.
Primer's good.
That seems like
this
something
particular-
you need to talk with your doctor about.
Yeah. This particular island's cave system is home to a newly discovered species in the phylum Cnidaria, the pale gorgon. A close relative of the anemone and jellyfish, this fascinating and deadly creature is perfectly adapted to its environment. It is theorized that the ancestors of this creature became tapped in the subterranean pools after a flood before recorded history. The low amount of readily available food, as well as the high mineral count of the cave's waters, caused this animal's physiology to shift to an amphibious lifestyle.
Okay, so
Quick
It's,
question.
what?
Quick question. Animal folks.
Mm.
What the
What do you want, Benjamin?
phylum Cnidaria, is that a real thing?
it's Cnidaria. And
Cnidaria.
Oh, sorry, I suck.
No, you
No,
don't.
I said
you're
it
fine.
wrong too. So
Look, English is a stupid language. There's a silent C in that word. Like, you're fine.
I don't know if that's English, but
It's probably Latin or some shit, but
probably
English
is.
came from Latin, and Latin, so
Frickin'
Latin's
all those
dumb as well.
all those alive Latins.
yes, this is the phylum that like jellyfish are part of. So
and
the fact-
anemones, right?
yeah, it's Cnidaria. That's the stinging animals. They have cells that sting. Like not all of them do, but yeah.
That's like one of their hallmark
Well,
features, right?
Like sting is like a term, but
Mhm.
I'm not gonna get
You ever
into
see
it.
that Hallmark movie where that woman falls in love with a jellyfish?
Yeah, it's called B movie, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's it.
We're thinking of the Hallmark knockoff Jelly movie.
It's actually a J horror, but like not like Japanese horror. It's like a jellyfish horror.
So this is saying an amphibious Nigerian.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. That's all right. I'm on board.
What does that mean for
Right.
the people like me who don't know English?
What? Oh.
What does it mean when it says it?
I mean,
it shifts to an
I
amphibious
assume you're
lexicon?
aroused since you're confused.
Oh, extremely, but
Gone full past El Dente at this point.
I'm just full dente now.
Full I'm so confused. I'm coming.
Damn.
Wait, do you actually not know, or?
No, for anybody who might be listening.
Oh.
Yeah. For people who may or may not be in the room that don't understand things.
Like amphibious would be like they can be on water and land is what it sounds like they're trying to imply here.
Yeah.
Like
It's a good thing we already knew that, obviously. Us people.
Look, Benjamin, I was trying to help you, and you're just making it way too obvious now. Okay.
Oh, you were like, Ben's pretty stupid. Let me make sure that he understands in small child words.
Look, Benjamin, you're the resident himbo of this group. Like, it's okay.
I have rabies.
It's okay, Benjamin. You're hot.
I
You
can't
don't have to be
retain
smart, too.
information.
Oh my god.
it's true. It's like a frog.
Yeah.
Like a frog.
A frog.
Is amphibian.
Mm-hmm.
They can be on land, but they require water.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Moisture.
farts.
I think Kylie is next.
Yeah, I think it's you.
The creature certainly lives up to its namesake, sporting pale coloration common in cave-dwelling species. Furthermore, the grasping oral arms and wisping hair at the top, as well as the broad, tall column, give the impression of the monster of Greek myth. An impression that goes beyond mere visual similarities, as this unfortunate fallow deer is about to find out. Oh no!
So I feel very called out. Pale coloration common in cave-dwelling species. Okay, you did not have to attack me like that.
No one's calling you a troglodyte.
Look, the Turkish are apparently.
Is a Gorgon a something from Greek myth, or is
Yeah,
it?
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Medusa was a gorgon.
She was the mama Gorgon. Wasn't she? She was like the
Yeah,
queen. of
Medusa.
the-
Well,
She was a queen. Thank
she
you.
was so.
We stand Medusa.
I don't think she was a queen. There's I forget the legend, but like apparently, the Gorgons were like blood droplets from something. It's been a while, but yeah, her quote unquote race is a Gorgon.
Yeah.
See, I in my head I was picturing two things. The first thing was the Demigorgon from Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
That's D&D.
Yeah, but it has the name Gorgon in it. I assume that there's some sort of relation. Freaking the other thing I was seeing in my head was the Gorn from Star Trek, and then like it took me a long time to realize that's the Gorn, not the Gorgon.
Well,
sorry, I sounded really defensive there for a second. I apologize.
No,
You're
it's
good.
okay. Because, see, Benjamin, while you were picturing two things, I was picturing two chains. So, we were on very different pages there.
Wait, like 2 Chainz, like the rapper?
Hell yes.
You
I just
two
think
really
about him
just-
sometimes.
You two really just don't see eye to eye, do you?
No, we don't.
Mhm.
Yeah, we just have this
You need to
continental.
listen to each other's heart.
Yeah.
If
We'll
you
lay our
want to
heads...
fall apart.
Benjamin,
Maybe love
we've
is the
got
reason
a-
why.
Our divide has now separated into an intergalactic divide. We're literally
Look.
like universes away.
look, Benjamin, we're gonna see you again in like 5 or 6 weeks, and we're gonna lay our heads on each other's chest, and we're gonna listen to each other's heart until we understand each other. It'll be great.
Are you
I
gonna
don't
do
know
it at
how
the
we.
same
I don't know
time?
how we
Yes.
do that at the same time. Are we gonna snap our necks?
Yes.
You better start stretching.
stretching my limits.
The quote-unquote hairs of the Gorgon are actually tentacles, and much longer than they seem, spread around the cave similar to a spider's web.
That's cool.
These tentacles are lined with microscopic nematocysts.
That's what I was going to start talking about.
Nematocysts.
But refrained because I figured that nobody wanted to hear about nematocysts. But here we are.
The stinging cells.
What is a nematocyst?
Stinging cells.
Cells that contain a venomous
Hey,
harpoon.
that's cool.
The Gorgon's venom is fiercely potent, paralyzing and numbing its prey. The deer is helpless. Utilizing muscles in its column, the Gorgon drags itself towards its catch, inching along until it can feed. Unlike its relatives, the Gorgon is armed with razor-sharp mouth parts, allowing it to strip chunks of meat until it's had its fill. Same.
Tasty mouth parts.
Properly fed, the Gorgon retreats back to the safety of the water, leaving the rest of the deer for its neighbors. Not much is known of the pale Gorgon's reproductive cycle. It's hypothesized that, like the jellyfish, it has a multi-stage life cycle. These small stalactites on the moist ceiling are actually the Gorgon during its polyp stage. This one in particular is budding, and with each drip of water, an adolescent Gorgon is wedged free. It frantically crawls to the nearest pool, where it will live until it has matured into adulthood.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
So what they're like describing here sounds like the actual life cycle of a jellyfish. And the stalactites that they're saying, it sounds like they're saying that that's strongulation, which is when basically jellyfish, they have a larval stage and then a polyp stage, and the polyp like creates clones of itself basically and like stacks up on top of itself like pancakes, and then each individual pancake will float off eventually, and that will turn into an adult medusa. So that is it's pretty cool, like the way that they took something that actually exists in nature, but changed it in a way that applies to this amphibious cnidarian. It's just cool.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of cryptids are like that, where they're usually based off something that's already an animal, but then twisted a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Bigfoot. It's just a person, but really hairy.
Don't at me, okay?
Benjamin, it's your turn.
All right, we're back to the typewriter text.
Yes.
The driving incident, which led to the investigation and eventual cancellation of the show, was the injury of the crew's field researcher on location, Alim Tefekci. I assume that is a Turkish name, so I apologize incredibly for my horrible pronunciation. Alim Tefekci was diagnosed as having been drugged with a paralytic agent. I wonder what could have stung him, perhaps. And was transported back to the mainland, where he was hospitalized for several weeks. Director Ekmel Ademir continued the project on undisclosed islands despite this major setback. It was called Really Dangerous and Everyone Dies Island. This, along with the suspicious nature of the written script, set Ademir as a primary suspect for Tefekci's poisoning. Again, I apologize. I'm sorry.
I'll probably butcher it as well. The legal battle was a fierce and short-lived one, with the program's footage being dismissed as an expensive hoax. Idemir, most of the crew, and the show's anonymous producer were charged according to Article 7 of Turkey's anti-terror law and sentenced to imprisonment for 2 years. Almost all materials related to the case, such as the footage of the supposed pale Gorgon, have been confiscated and not seen since. Despite the circumstances, Tefekci testified in favor of the defense and still works with Idemir to this day.
Oh, so they're friends.
Sure. So, what do you guys think of this one?
This one definitely held my attention more. It felt more like a cryptid to me.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that the previous one wasn't. But that's like kind of a personal bias coming to play.
Because
Well,
it described the entire life process and everything.
I liked that. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say that the other than the fact that the last one was it was satirical, like it was done in a joking manner. Like I felt like some of the the ideas and contextual clues kind of changed, or like reading through it all, I kind of couldn't put together a full picture of what the actual Karen was supposed to be. And this I have a very clear idea of what this monstrosity is.
Which arguably makes the first story superior, because cryptids usually can't be described, and that's an aspect of cryptids. We don't have complete descriptions. We don't really have a way to be as clear about them. So I mean, in that case, if you think of it that way, that could actually be a positive aspect to the first story, whereas this one is very clear.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I think either is better or worse than the other. I'm not trying to say that at all. I think
you made your point clear. You hate one story and you love the other one, and you wanna become the president and your Bigfoot.
I also have rabies.
And yeah. Same.
I think this one feels more like I like the that it's shorter. And I like that the different fonts, basically the different aspects of the story are more explained. And this feels like it had been edited a little bit more thoroughly.
Eli.
Benjamin.
Eli.
Benjamin.
I'm gonna just move on to the next story.
Fucking wait.
No.
Eli,
no.
say something about the story.
What do you think?
I agree. I feel like with this one, the writer had how do I word this properly? There was focus.
It's almost like the writer's Bible, right? This person had a more clear idea of what they were going for.
Yeah.
And the other one was a little...
Well, not even trying to compare it to the first one.
Yeah.
I just mean to say, I feel like this one had more focus or more. I just said not comparing it. Jesus. Okay.
I'm not going to compare it. Now here's how it was, how it did compared to the other one.
It's hard not to compare.
Especially when you're drunk.
Well, they're two they're tackling these two very different styles.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's it's not the only reason we're comparing them is because they're both part of this contest.
Of course.
Contest of wills.
The whole point is for us to judge them and to rank them. So I'm predisposed to be doing such thing.
Yeah, of course.
Also, yes.
Also,
well, I'm sorry. Did you have something else you wanted to say? I was just gonna say that one thing that I will say that I don't know if it contextually or timeline wise makes sense. They were talking about how this television program entered production, and it would it was canceled only after partly being filmed.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of what we're reading is a lot of descriptive narration, which I assume is what the narrator of the program would be reading.
Sounds
that early into the production, just from a realistic production standpoint, they wouldn't have recorded this.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Until they had a more cohesive.
Yeah, well, they would have. They probably wouldn't have started recording the narration until they filmed everything, or had a script, because they were essentially trying to find out what this creature was in the first place, right?
It seems to be the case.
Yeah.
So that's one little piece of logic that could be fleshed out a little bit better.
Yeah, and I do think I don't know if I'm just dumb, but I'm not 100% sure what the driving incident is. And I also, the fact that they say, like, it kind of like threw me out of the story when it said, like, when it's in the narration part and it says the thing about the fallow deer, like, because we're not actually seeing it, we're reading it, like,
Right.
it kind of like,
I did get confused for a second because I didn't fully realize at that point that we were reading a narration.
yeah, I was in the same boat. I was like, that was the point where I was like, oh, now I understand. This is like being voiced over
Yeah.
a video that we're reading. Like,
To be fair, they technically set it up. It was just like it didn't become immediately clear that that's how we were supposed to read it until that moment.
yeah, I felt the same way. But I'm also dumb.
No.
You're not dumb. Listen. We're now what's bigger than an intergalactic divide? Frickin'
Dimensional.
yeah. We're in different dimensions now.
No.
Wow.
Your reality does not adhere to mine. So fucking eat it. Yeah, you stay there.
I don't want to.
Should I go to the next story?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
So the next story is South Milwaukee alley man still at large. Watch me fail my words. I am so glad I'm just guiding and not giving my opinion.
Words fail me now.
All right. Transcript of segment aired June 6, 2001 on WISN News.
I'm sensing a theme with these stories.
What's the theme you're sensing, Benjamin?
That they're all like transcripts of something, or have transcripts.
2021 also.
What did I say?
2001.
2021.
No, it's a good.
We're reading numbers out loud is exceptionally difficult for me. So
I completely forgot about that until this moment because I remember this happening before and thinking it was like really funny.
And then Benjamin's.
Such a dick.
And then Benjamin's
my friend
crippling.
can't read numbers.
There's dumb stuff that I do that y'all think is funny.
Well,
That's true.
I was gonna say
And also, I'm not saying that
crippling
you're dumb.
amnesia
By
hit.
the way, that was a bad phrasing.
No, I heard it. That's what
All
was
right,
said.
that's
Can't take
right.
it back.
Yep,
I think
we are
you're
now
dumb.
in the same dimension.
Ah!
All right.
Ah! Everything's so dumb in this one. Ah! Get me out of here.
Who's starting this off?
I'll read the first paragraph. So, headline: South Milwaukee alley man still at large. It started as a spooky story spread by the neighborhood children. A gangly man with wrinkled skin, wiry hair, and a rat-like face who haunts the alleys under the cover of darkness, masked by the sounds of traffic from the nearby airport.
This is a quote from Maria Garcia, 34. I was like, what's the harm, right? We made up stuff like that when I was their age. And if it keeps my boys from staying out after dark, whatever.
Maria
right?
had a stroke in the middle of her statement.
Maria was a little drunk. And then that's what Maria Garcia thought until her recently installed backdoor camera caught this.
Night vision footage of a wide alley between homes. A very tall, gaunt figure dressed in rags shambles into frame, facing away from the camera.
This is turning into Snake.
Car headlights pass once across the top of the image. Ah! Seeming to spy something, the figure drops to all fours and bounds to a garage door. Begins to claw at the door before the clip ends.
The bizarre footage put this South Milwaukee neighborhood on high alert, with residents pooling resources to look after children and pets, as well as installing more cameras in hopes of tracking down this individual.
This is a quote from, is it Manuel?
It's Manuel.
Manuel.
Oh, it's Manuel. It could be
Manuel Benicio.
Benicio.
Gutierrez. I almost said 75. See?
Yeah! Man, this universe is so stupid. All the numbers are backwards here. I'm sorry.
I would be crying if I wasn't laughing. 57,
Lord.
Spanish overdub by English interpreter. It would certainly explain some incidents that happened here from time to time. I came home from a fireworks show to find my fence scratched up and trash cans knocked over in the alley. At first I thought it was a dog, but that was a lot of mischief for one dog.
Maybe it was 2 dogs.
Maybe it was 3 dogs.
Let's not be unreasonable here.
Oh yeah, no, three dogs would never hang out together.
No, except at night. I'm so sorry.
Not during a fireworks show, though.
That's true. Then on Friday, a breakthrough.
Boss!
Boss, police encounter a man fitting the description shelter.
Oh my gosh, I don't even understand what you're saying.
Yeah, can you...
I slipped into that universe or that dimension where everyone's just really dumb.
I live there.
For some reason, everyone sounds like Snake, but like a really shitty version, like a cover band version of Snake.
A cover band of Snake.
Then on Friday, a breakthrough. Police encountered a man fitting the description sheltering in the garage of a recently vacant home on Adams Street. This man, later identified as 26-year-old Daniel Sowinski, spent the night in police custody before being returned to the care of relatives. In response to our inquiry about Mr. Sowinski's well-being, Officer Sarah Osgood remarked the following.
He was very nervous when we found him. Whispering about being safe in the silence, very glued to his smartphone, using it to check around things and refusing to look at you without holding the camera between him and you. But hopefully, he'll be able to calm down now that he has a roof over his head with people who care about him. He's covered in mustard now.
That's what calms me down.
The relief in the community was short-lived, however, as a new video sighting of the Alley Man surfaced and captured the same night that Mr. Sowinski was in custody. This footage may be disturbing, but the subject's face is clearly visible, so we are showing an edited version here in case someone out there has any information about this individual.
Oh, it's just Benjamin.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing!
It was me. I have rabies.
Are you in Milwaukee?
That's a good question. I ask myself that every day.
A night vision camera over a door looks into a backyard. The alleyman is crouched over a hole in the grass, engaged in removing things from inside. Some areas of the ground are blurred, as are the creature's hands. It rises and stands at least 7 feet tall.
Same.
It walks towards the camera and stoops to
That's laying
examine it.
down, by the way.
Is this back to an el dente discussion? Because I don't want to have
No,
it.
this is a full dente discussion.
Yeah, there's nothing Al about this.
It walks toward the camera and stoops to examine it. The clip freezes on the image of its face. The face would be skeletal if not for fleshy bunches of wrinkles. The nose and mouth are set slightly forward in the suggestion of a snout. The lips are parted and puckered, stained dark. A sharp overbite protrudes, even in this strange cast of night vision. The eyes are dark and beady, though roughly the size of a man's. The hair is long and stringy, unkempt, but too greasy to become matted. That's a pretty thorough description.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I get a pretty good idea of what this looks like.
Yeah. That's a thorough enough description that someone in the like cryptid fandom will find this hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
draw a sexy.
Oh god,
alley
yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. This is-
I
Also,
expect
y'all-
fan art.
It's
Rule
really
34.
weird. The other day when you sent me that sexy picture of Mothman, when I
Dude,
was scrolling through Instagram, like freaking this podcast that I follow posted another image of sexy Mothman.
Dude,
people love
sexy,
Mothman.
Sexy Mothman is like a whole like
Oh,
subculture.
there is
It's true.
a fandom for Sexy Mothman.
Yeah.
Mhm,
So, all right, Beth, I expect sexy alley man, please.
Yes.
See, I wanna see sexy Bigfoot where everything is shaved except for Bigfoot's penis.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the ass.
What the?
All the way around, like a little like
Like a
a
belt.
hairy bikini.
Isn't that just you then, Benjamin?
Yes, pretty much.
So
I'm a shaved Bigfoot.
I knew it.
All right, who's reading now?
This is a quote from Maddie Garcia 11. I guess we haven't caught him yet, cause like, we don't really know what's up with him. Nobody has seen him in person, so like, we can't ask what he wants, and we don't know how to play by his rules.
This is the interviewer. Does he scare you?
This is said by Arturo Garcia, age 8. Yeah, I mean, he looks like something you're supposed to be scared of, so I get why everyone's scared. But he's probably lived here longer than we have and hasn't hurt anyone, right? So I don't know.
Wow, this 8-year-old's pretty like tolerant
This 8-year-old
This
is
is
of
a
wise.
like
chill
trash
8-year-old.
monsters.
That 8-year-old is wise as fuck.
Yeah,
That 8-year-old,
seriously.
that 8-year-old would survive Frankenstein's monster.
Yes.
That 8-year-old would be friends with Frankenstein's monster. That 8-year-old is Frankenstein's monster. That's my headcanon.
You have one
Wow,
line
that
left.
escalated quickly. WISN News, Wendy Albright reporting.
More like Wendy, all right, am I right?
Well, we never got a description of Wendy Albright. I assume she was the interviewer.
I assume she was sexy alley man.
Well, it says Wendy Albright reporting, so...
So
oh,
she'd be the anchor.
yeah. So the
No,
interview-
no. She wouldn't be the anchor. The person who's on the scene says blah 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 reporting. So then they cut back to the anchor. Right?
Okay, that's
That's
Oh yeah,
fair.
because
Okay.
the anchor would be like in the newsroom.
Yeah.
The anchor is the one who's not wearing pants because they're sitting at the desk. That's
Yes.
right.
The anchor is when you have a heavy object attached to a string to your penis.
So most likely she's the one who's saying it started as a spooky story and all that. And maybe the interviewer is a separate from the.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I've
that
seen
could-
that before.
yeah,
I love
absolutely.
how just Benjamin is just cackling in the background there, in his own dimension.
Benjamin's in a pocket dimension now.
Benjamin, come back to us. Come on.
No.
Baby, come back
No.
to me.
I'm
Alright,
sorry.
which-
It really wasn't that funny. It's been a long time since I laughed that hard at something so stupid.
It's
But
been
you're-
15 years.
It's been 15 years.
No, the thing is, though, Benjamin, is your laugh is just so contagious.
It really is.
Aw.
Oh.
Say no more.
What,
It's,
what, did, what do you
really
guys
should
think
get
of
it
this
looked at.
story?
What?
That was a good one.
Well, I liked it. I think it feels like a cryptid origin story kind of.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, like this is gonna be part 1, and at about part 7 we're gonna have the Cryptid Avengers. Is what you're saying, right?
Honestly, that would be super rad.
yeah.
You ever see Alone in the Dark?
The Uwe Boll movie.
No. The 1980s movie. It's 70s or 80s.
Mm-mm.
Frickin', it's awesome. It's like a bunch of people who escape from a psych ward who all have like, different ailments, and they go on a murder spree.
Benjamin referencing a movie from the 1970s or 80s. Who would have thought?
I live in my own dimension.
Where it's always the 70s or 80s.
He would be happy with that.
He would.
Honestly, yeah.
Except he wouldn't have the internet.
Even better.
Yeah, social media? Nah.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, I like this one. I felt I like that the framing felt like it was done in a way that I understood what was going on.
Mhm.
I mean, there was like one point where it used passive voice, and I was like, I wasn't sure if passive voice is commonly used in news reporting, so I didn't know if that was like that's something you would know better than me.
Yeah, after my 50-year career as an anchor woman.
I don't remember where it was.
I don't either. I see. I don't even pick up on that.
This man later identified as 26-year-old Daniel Sawinski.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely.
Spent the night. No. That's not the part I'm talking about.
Okay.
Spent the night in police custody before being returned to the care of relatives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be like. There'd be that one person in the editorial room who'd be like, "That's passive voice. You shouldn't use that." But that sounds like a just.
That's what I thought. I was like, this sounds like it's the way things are reported, but like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with passive voice. Like, it is perfectly okay and like acceptable and good and has a time and place. It's just that like a lot of teachers like drill that, you know, don't use passive voice.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, I remember, and they never give you an explanation for why.
no, they don't. I mean, it's just like, this is the way it is.
Yeah.
This is the sound.
Hold on.
That's the girl.
I feel like I can hear like sounds like all around me.
Oh, that's disturbing. Are you okay?
No, I'm okay. I hear the sound of I don't know, music, I guess.
I can't hear anything.
Mm-mm.
Are the hills alive?
With the sound of music. Ah. Well, I know my neighbor's right now watching a Bond film. So
Oh. Which one?
I don't know. I just heard a Bond theme at some point.
Number
All right, well,
16.
does it sound like Roger Moore? Honestly, if I could hear it through the wall, I think I could tell you.
I believe that. I could
Fucking
find it.
nerd.
I forgot what I was going to say.
I think the strongest aspect of this one is the narrative. Like
it feels like a cryptid story.
well, no, not just that. It feels like there's a whole ass story going on here. It's not just a description, which
There's like a world.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, given what the prompt was, to just give a description of a cryptid. In fact, I'm pretty sure the one that we all agreed was number 1 was basically just a description.
Uh-huh.
But this one, it gives you there's an introduction, there's exposition, there's an act 1, there's kind of an act 2 with this red herring of this guy, Mr. Sawinski, Daniel. What's he doing? And then act 3, big boy comes back, he's got a snout. And all the kids are like, seems cool.
Yeah, all these children are surprisingly calm, but even though there's visual evidence of a fucking monster hanging out in their like their like street.
So I don't know. I think this one works out well for that reason. You know.
I agree.
I think it's pretty good. I have 2, maybe 3 points of contention.
Okay, we don't care, so we're gonna move on.
All right. Well, now the depressed Benjamin dimension.
Benjamin, I care.
The depressed Benjamin dimension is the one where no one cares what Benjamin has to say.
Right,
So
what's
No,
your point of
no,
contention?
no,
What's
I
your
he
wanna
just cries in a corner.
I want
your-
to know. I want to
your-
know.
Benjamin,
I'm
what's
sorry.
your points of contention?
No, you're fine. I was being a doof.
Oh, we're back in the doof convention.
Doof mention.
The
I
Duke
almost
mentioned.
said the doof convention.
Oh man,
Benjamin's
Why
the
haven't I
only
did that
attendee.
yet?
am I the president of the doof convention?
You're the entire convention.
Okay,
But
tell us your
so-
3.
So my first thing is that like these last 2 stories that we read are both transcripts of a visual medium.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying whether or not that's a good thing or not. I'm just saying that it's not in my opinion it's not always the best approach to basically write a transcript of something that was meant to be seen. So
fair.
that's I think it works all right for this story, but like just something for I don't know other writers to take note of. My other thing is like I don't believe these kids for a second. I do. I like the particularly Arturo.
Fucking
Arturo
Arturo.
seems like totally down with Alley Man, and I'm like, I don't buy that.
At 8.
Yeah, at 8, holy shit, I would be so terrified. And I'm not saying that all children would act exactly like me, but like, for fuck's sake, it's a scary freaking monster that like there's actual proof, like people can see it. Like the news is reporting on it. That means it's real.
Mhm.
Or at least in a perfect world, that means it's real.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You were gonna say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I agree with you about the kids, because I think for me, it's more that I feel like they would, because it's been on the news and it's been like something that's been circulating a lot, that they would have been exposed to a lot of adults talking about this.
Yeah.
Which
And
would
I
make it
think-
scarier.
Not only scarier, but I think that they would be mirroring and miming what the adults are also already saying.
Yeah.
So, like, because a lot of times kids regurgitate what they hear.
Sure.
Like, they're, like, I mean, often they do have opinions and they're very strong. But usually, like, once something has been, like, presented to them from, like, an authority figure, per se, like, they'll kind of repeat that. Especially an 8-year-old, like they technically have an ego, but they're still really forming their identity at that point. So I feel like it's hard for me to believe that an 8-year-old would be saying something so nonchalant.
Yeah.
When we know that this story has been circulating and a lot of adults are like talking about it, like supposedly maybe potentially their mom, Maria, like,
Yeah.
because like she's talking about the kids and everything. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Also,
That's fair.
when you're a kid and freaking adults are scared, that makes
It's
it
funny.
extra scary because
It's hilarious.
it's so funny when adults are scared. No, but like if there's something like that, your parent doesn't understand and that they're terrified of, like I'd say probably like 9 times out of 10 that would be fucking terrifying for you as
Yeah.
a child.
Because if
Well, yeah, because that's basically like the person who is supposed to be
yeah,
your
like
your
your rock.
safety net,
Yeah.
your rock, your you know, like your support, your guardian, and that foundation is crumbling. Then yeah, what the heck do you have? Like,
Exactly.
it's terrifying.
Exactly. And then my last point was just going to be that, and it was something that you brought up with the last story, where we get like a pretty like detailed description of what this creature looks like. And you know, I think that takes away like a little bit of like the mysticism, or like you know, like when you're able to see exactly what something is, that makes it less scary. Although the thing I will say about the last story was that we got a detailed description of its entire life. So there's still a mystery to this character about what the fuck it even is. So there is that bit of scary mysteriousness to it.
I agree with that. Because it's kind of like oh, what's that movie? Oh, I better not say that because that's a hot take that no one agrees with. So never mind. I'm not going to say that.
Tell me later. I'm really curious what you're.
I will. I'll tell you later.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Hashtag. I'm gonna make up something that's gonna put Kylie in horror movie jail.
No,
So
not numbers. I can't do it.
Speaking of numbers, the last story for this from the Lost Cryptids is top 10 cryptids I just created to potentially win 3rd place in a writing contest.
Nice. At least they're to the point.
Yeah,
I have to admit, I actually did read this one.
I did too.
What?
All right, Eli, you want to start this?
Sure. Well, so I was going to enter a cryptid story contest, but like usual, I kept putting it off, as I do with everything. So now I'm sitting here, having 3 weeks left, desperately trying to come up with a cryptid and a story to put them in. But then I thought, hey, let's just make a couple of cryptids and see what happens. So, here are my top 10 cryptids I just created to potentially win 3rd place in a writing contest.
Number 10. Shrieking Squirrel! Bah! Starting simple, it's a large, reaches up to about my waist, standing on its hind legs, but we don't know how high your waist is. Red flying squirrel. It's actually pretty cute until it bares its sharp rows of fangs, extends its
Same.
quills, and lets out the unholy wail that is its namesake, which is uses to stun prey before swooping in with its teeth and claw. Pretty cool for a first attempt. Next! Also, you want to hear my impression of its unholy wail?
Oh,
I do
God.
not.
No.
All right, here. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here it comes. Here it
No,
comes.
I said no.
That noise will haunt my dreams for 15 years.
All right.
Pretty unholy,
Here,
if you
all right,
ask me.
Number 9.
Every,
Dream butterflies. Butterflies are pretty and dreamlike, so I decided to make them more pretty and dreamlike by making them give off hallucinogenic powder. They are quite large, with wings about the size of my hand, decorated in patterns that somewhat look like strange faces that have a slight fluorescent shine to them. All of that together, and anyone who runs into them will probably hallucinate all manners of really weird monsters. Really proud of this one. Next!
so it's Butterfree.
Yes. Yes.
We keep getting size comparisons of their body parts, which I don't know how big this person is.
All I can think is, I'm a gnome.
I'm a gnome. So then they'd be extremely tiny.
I was
They
thinking
could-
plankton.
They could be Bigfoot.
It could be, but then they wouldn't be a gnome.
You don't know if Bigfoot's a gnome.
I literally do. I know where the tree falls in a forest when no one's around.
But do you know about the spiritual aspect of Bigfoot?
I love the fact you guys are talking about something that everybody's listening in their ear like, they might think they know what you're talking about. They have no idea what you guys are.
Yeah,
Yo.
y'all think you know Bigfoot, but you don't know Bigfoot.
You don't.
Yo,
You
I'm
truly
just talking about Bigfoot.
don't. Oh yeah.
I just want to talk about the spiritual aspect of Bigfoot.
Number 8, tree squid. The fact that there are no cephalopods on land is, in my belief, evolution's single greatest mistake. So,
No, that's me.
so as I am already making up cool creatures, I've decided to correct this. Tree squid obviously live in the trees. They have muscular tentacles they use to swing around branches and climb trees. Their tentacles contain a muscle similar to the one found in electric eels, which they use to shock prey before stuffing it in their mouths. They also have a membrane that catches wind, so they are capable of gliding and semi-flight. To help with this, their head inflates with a gas that is lighter than air. Extremely cool. Why is that so funny?
I was just imagining like this squid inflating its head and then like floating around aimlessly through the sky.
But I imagine it's like kind of like
That's even funnier.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Intermission 1. My experiment has been successful. People have been hearing the scream of the shrieking squirrel. Some hunters claim they've seen weird things in the trees, and some hitchhikers came running out of the woods raving about formless monsters. Overall, a major success.
Number 7, fanged frogs. Enough of the forest. Time to put weird things into lakes. First of all, I'm making frogs about the size of cats, giving them fangs and making their croaks have this weird, roaring, distorted edge to it. How's that?
Good job.
Beautiful.
Thank you. They feed on bugs, fish, and small birds, which they catch with their long tongues and shred with their sharp teeth. They also have quills and can puff up like pufferfish to protect themselves from predators.
Number 6, giggling mermaids. Long, thin, serpent-like tails leading up to slim, somewhat curved bodies. Instead of arms, they have 4 tentacles, and their smooth, leathery faces and dark eyes are just humanoid enough to be perfectly unnerving. Their front teeth are needle-like, but their back teeth are blunt, meaning that they are omnivores. They have long, flowing hair, which is actually more closely related to jellyfish stingers. They also do this really creepy giggling sound just to round it all off.
Intermission 2.
Hey.
I may have made a mistake. People have gone missing in the lake. The mermaids seem to have developed a taste for human flesh. The fanged frogs have been polite and just roke out of sight, but though the mermaids might still cause more trouble. Still, people are talking. This is great for tourism. I've set up a shop myself.
Number 5, Serpent Worm, aka my band.
Yeah.
Under the earth, a long, thick worm nests. It is sexless, but will lay 1 or 2 eggs over the course of its long life. Only every other new moon will it dig itself up to the surface, its luminescent body reaching towards the sky and wriggling hypnotically. It will strike at anything living with its sharp, rock-tearing teeth, swallowing it and slowly digesting it over the next month before doing it all over again.
Is it just me, or does serpent worm seem kind of superfluous? Because like worms are already pretty serpent-like.
I think it's serpent because of the size.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm
But
just saying that like they both
mean.
wiggle around on the ground.
There, like some people argue that like about like what the definition of a worm is. So I could see where you're coming from with that. I'm just getting confused because it says only every other new moon it will dig itself up.
So every 2 months, right?
So and then it says slowly digesting it over the next month before doing it all over again. So like shouldn't it be either every new moon or every 2 months?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm just getting a little lost there.
Also, it could be a serpent because it vores all of its food. Like a snake does.
Wormy worm.
Vormy wormy. Number 4, Ape Moth. All right, first of all, metal name. That is also my band.
Okay.
The
I used to
two
play-
most. Sorry.
I was gonna make the whole. I used to play bass for Ape Moth.
You will play bass for Ape Moth. The 2 most popular cryptids are Bigfoot and Mothman. So what if Bigfoot Mothman? Just putting moth wings on Bigfoot would be pretty dumb, though, and there's no way I could make that that I could make it fly that way. So instead, I made a hunched down, fuzzy green creature about the size of a human child. It has red moth-like wings and 2 pairs of arms. It has it is an insect, you see, despite the simian mimicry. I gave it sharp mandibles, but it mostly eats fruit. It just looks really
Same.
creepy, though. And having both opposable thumbs and about Corvid level intellect, it can use tools to wreck things, like Mothman may or may not have done.
Do you know what a corvid is, Benjamin?
Obviously,
It sounds familiar, but I honestly, if you know what it is, please let me know.
yeah. Actually, do tell me. I'm stupid and I don't know.
So
You're
we're
not stupid.
all in the dumb dimension now, huh?
Oh no!
No, corvids are crows.
Corvids are great, is what corvids are.
Oh.
Yeah.
And blue jays are technically also corvids.
Yeah. Crows, ravens, blue jays.
One of these
Mag-
things is not like
magpies?
the other.
Yeah.
Are magpies
I'm
corvids?
fairly certain.
I think so.
I don't like when we talk about common names, things start
Of
to get a
course,
little bit
of
messed up
course.
for me. But
Also, I would just like to say, I gave it sharp mandibles, but it mostly eats fruit. Same.
Just gotta say, regardless of the rest of the context, Ape Moth gets a 10 out of 10 for its name.
Absolutely. So we gonna do a double headline show: Ape Moth and Serpent Worm.
Yeah! Oh my god! And then
Hell yeah.
then we do like a battle Ape Moth versus Serpent Worm.
Yes.
Number 3, Hornmen. Imagine you drive down the road at night. You see a bunch of horned creatures. Goats, maybe? Maybe a little tall for goats. You get closer and you realize that they are standing on 2 legs. They are not goats at all, but they are also not human. You get closer and one of them smiles a sharp, toothy grin at you. Its mouth too wide, its shining eyes too large, ears too long. You step on the pedal. This I saw the first night I let the hornman run free in the woods. It was delightful.
All right, this one gets a 0 out of 10 because it's not named tall goats.
Oh god.
They're not goats.
Yeah, but like from far away, they looked like tall goats.
No, they're hornmen.
The hornman,
But they're
Listen,
not human.
frickin' things aren't named logically.
That's true.
Frickin' why is a pickle when everything is pickled?
Also,
I have to disagree when it comes to animals.
You
Animals
think
are
all animals are named accordingly?
not not all, but a lot of times like animals, especially birds, are like black striped bluebird. Like
It'd be hard to fuck that one up because could you imagine black striped bluebird? It's actually red.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I think ornithologists specifically were very good. Or I mean, I don't know if ornithologists were the ones that named the birds, but
What was that? Oh yeah, bony-eared ass fish was.
that's what they call me.
same.
Fucking ass fish.
All right.
Number 2, saber-toothed bat. Look, I realize the implications of letting so many dangerous creatures run wild in a somewhat small area. Something needs to eat them. The saber-toothed bat is that something. It's similar to a saber-toothed tiger, but smaller and with bat wings.
Hells yeah.
I couldn't make it too big because it needs to fly and climb trees. Still, I packed a surprising amount of power and dexterity into the thing. It swoops onto anything and tears it apart with its sharp fangs. Even the hornmen fear it, and they don't fear a lot.
Intermission 3. I went too far. Too many monsters. Too small of an area. Too short of a time span. The town is empty now. Everyone fled. I, too, had to leave my creatures behind. It doesn't matter. The authorities are already blaming this on mass hysteria. Ah, but we are missing something, are we not?
Why are you still writing? You knew this would happen.
Only one man saw this coming.
Only one man saw this coming. It was me.
It was me.
Number 1. There is no name. There's a creature in this world, one that has existed for a long time. The evolution, for some reason, gave the ability to absorb the genetic information of other creatures and distill it into their eggs to make new life forms. Sometimes they sometimes they catch on and survive. Sometimes they do not. Still, that is not the point. Does the brevity of fireworks make it less of an art form? No. Humans always seem to remember their creations either way. This is starting to sound very Ayn Randy.
It's Ayn Rand, but sure.
Ayn Rand, yeah. Fuck you. I'll say it wrong. I was saying fuck you to Ayn Rand, not you, Kaela. We have always been here. We will always be here, hiding in plain sight. And sometimes, when fancy strikes us, we'll give your nightmares a little bit more substance. The most evil thing I can imagine were people.
that nightmare umami.
Nightmare umami.
Sprinkle the MSG on the nightmares.
So wait, was this story written by that creature?
Yes.
That was-
I think that's the implication.
That's the implication that I got.
So, what
Is
did
it
you guys think of this one?
This one also felt like a first draft with the they're like spelling errors and things like that.
Well, they contextually set up that this was written last minute, which is probably also true.
Well, I mean, I guess like there could be a meta narrative there that it's written last minute so that the errors are purposefully put in. I suppose that could be argued.
Yeah.
Though I feel like usually in writing, any kind of purposeful grammar errors tend to be a distraction.
I can see that. Yeah.
I did think it was cool that they came up with a whole bunch of creatures that ultimately like led to. I don't know, it was kind of funny because it was like reading something that was like the thought process of somebody like going through like trying to like be writing for this contest, you know? But then at the end, like there's like that twist of like, oh no, like they actually have made this like come to fruition. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It adds more of a narrative to the story, which is cool.
Yeah, other than like this list of animals or cryptids, you know,
Yeah.
like
I mean, if we had to read a list of 10 animals, they'd have to be really fucking rad to keep my attention because the story aspect, the extra story aspect adds a lot to it.
Yeah, I like the format of this one because nobody else wrote one that was really in this format that was like multiple, or you know, that had multiple like potentially like these are the cryptids that I'm talking about, you know, and then at the last minute the switch up. Pretty much all the other ones focused on a single one. And I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I get the feeling that whoever wrote this probably doesn't enjoy clickbaity top 10 type lists. I felt like there was a kind of like almost like an element of satire there. I don't know.
It might also
I
be
like the format.
it might be partially the way we read all the numbers. Number 9.
Look, Chills is the best YouTuber ever, and I will not be elaborating on that.
Colors are bullshit. Care to elaborate on that? No.
Also fair.
No. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of creativity in this story. I think it's a funny premise. I was a little bit apprehensive going into it though, because I was like, "Aha, funny joke," but also like you gotta deliver. And you know, for the most part, I think it did. I thought there was a lot of creative creatures and characters, and even the ones that were just mashups were pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused about like the intermission bits of it. Like, I mean, I'm not confused about what's happening in the intermission. I'm just confused as to why they're writing the intermission bit, if that makes sense.
yeah, it's kind of like a diary, it feels like.
Yeah, because they said they had 3 weeks left to write their entry. So I could almost see it as like a progress report.
So like maybe it would have been better to like put like dates or like, I'm not saying like dates necessarily, but like some kind of time reference, because like we already have the time reference of 3 weeks. So like we could say like you know, 21 days before submission. 19 days before submission. It could be that way instead.
That's how I am when I'm about to be domed. I set up a date in advance and then like 21 days until submission. I
look forward to it.
Wait.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail your point.
Millions are dead.
Are you saying I'm a train wreck? I was gonna say though. So apart from it, like, you know, kind of taking me off the trail of the narrative, I also want to say that like they kind of changed what the narrative is at the first intermission, because it's like at the beginning it was like I was gonna enter a cryptid story contest, and so like they put it off, so now they're just gonna, you know, hash out a bunch real quick. And then intermission 1, they said my experiment has been successful, which makes it seem like they were intentionally trying to create these monsters through the written form.
Yeah, I felt that too.
You think somebody would just do that? Go on the internet and lie?
Yes. All the time. And then it kind of changes again, because at the last bit for number 1, and we all kind of agreed that we felt that, or at least a couple of us agreed that we felt that the implication was that this creature was the one that was writing this story. So why is it this creature taking the intermissions to ponder what the hell it's done, if that's what it was trying to do in the first place.
That's fair.
In terms of like if this had been a writing contest,
right,
like it implies in the first bit.
Well, that, and also the fact that this creature seems to have malicious intent.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems that it was trying to create these monsters to terrorize people, right?
I don't.
Right.
What makes you think it was malicious?
Well, you mind
The
if I
part
read
where it said, "I'm deliberately doing this to terrorize people." Did you miss that part?
specifically Benjamin?
I got distracted by the numbers. Excuse me.
No, all right. Well, so here's a cool element. Do you mind if I go through this last paragraph again one more time?
Sure.
Don't you dare.
Okay, so like number one, and I like that it's like an unnamed horror, so that's scary. It's like this creature's so scary it doesn't have a name. But it says, there's a creature in this world, one that has existed for a long time, that evolution for some reason gave the ability to absorb the genetic information of other creatures and distill it into their eggs to make new life forms. Sometimes they catch on and survive, sometimes they do not. Still, that is not the point. Does the brevity of fireworks make it less of an art form? No. Humans always seem to remember their creations either way. We've always been here, we will always be here, hiding in plain sight, and sometimes when fancy strikes us, we'll give your nightmares a little bit more substance. So I think that's implying that this thing is trying to terrify you in your nightmares. Yeah?
I can see that with we'll give your nightmares, like specifically nightmares, because people usually associate nightmares with terror. So yeah. I can see where you're saying that.
Yeah. The more that I'm reading this is the implication that the number one is like your dreams or something. Like it's like some sort of meta text talking about how like the things that these creatures that are being birthed or into our imagination is like imagination itself.
I get the feeling that it's almost like Light Yakami with the Death Note. Like it's this like creature that just like is aware, I guess, and like writes the DNA into the eggs and makes other creatures.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think this both works literally and metaphorically, at least as a creature. Where if it's literal, then that's kind of cool that it's like a creature that like absorbs the genetic information, as it's said in the story, of like other creatures, and then like can like make new objects out of that. But in my own like headcanon of reading this, I was thinking about how like our brains absorb genetic information about creatures and then like distill that and make new ones, which are the cryptids that we come up with in our minds. Kaboom.
I see what you're saying.
I do. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just that's just a game theory.
I think the nightmares are the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
Aw.
I have to say we are all nightmare.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, you
as
are.
people.
Yeah. All right. So, you've read all 4 entries. I guess I don't want to say top 3. I would say what's your favorite.
Mm.
Oh man.
Mine's Alleyman.
Can you bring up the list again? I can't.
Absolutely not.
We have Karen.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was talking to Eli. Sorry about that. But you go ahead and say it.
We have the first one was Karen, then Pale Gorgon, South Milwaukee Alleyman still at large, and top 10 cryptids I just created to potentially win 3rd place in a writing contest.
I feel like that one we have to give 3rd place.
Just to fulfill the joke.
Yeah,
potentially.
We had to. What?
Also, I kind of feel like I know who wrote that one, but I don't know.
I will tell you once after you guys have put in your vote. I don't want to. I mean, if you want to jokingly say it gets third place, you can. But I don't want to. Since there's only 4 of them, I'd rather.
Yeah.
I'm
well, that
gonna
one gets third
rate them
place.
all in a very specific list.
I think it'd be better just say what's your favorite, and then then you can pick the winner from there. So there's only 4. So.
Mhm.
What's yours, Benjamin?
Well, I'm kind of torn because for me the Pale Gorgon and the South Milwaukee Alley Man, those two felt like the most like cohesive to me. I really liked the fact that the Pale Gorgon, we got like this really like detailed description, and there's all these interesting aspects to the creature. And then the South Milwaukee Alley Man I thought was cool because as we talked about, it gave you a description of what it looked like, but not like what its like motive is. Mm-hmm. So that was like that makes it like you can visualize it, but it's really creepy because you don't know like what the fuck it is or what it wants. So I'm in my head, I'm kind of jumping back and forth between those two.
Okay, well, I mean, I think that kind of works because I was between 2, but like thinking about it, I'm gonna base my decision off which one that I would want to read again, and it would be Pale Gorgon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So then it sounds like you have to pick.
Me?
No, Benjamin.
Oh wow. Okay.
Pick. Yes.
Apparently, I'm just not a part of this judging committee.
Well, no, because you picked Alley Man, and I picked Pale Gorgon.
That's fair.
And he's between the 2.
Okay, look.
What if I just pick another one just to fuck with you, and then there's no winner?
No, I am between the top 10 cryptids and Pale Gorgon.
All right, hear me out.
Yeah.
You enjoy a piece of fiction not just because you see yourself in it, but because you view it to an extent as a blueprint. Like you have a character and you're like, man, I really wish I could be that character or whatever, right?
Are you saying you want to be Alley Man?
No, I want to be fucking Arturo. I want to have been a fucking stone cold fucking
8-year-old.
Like, oh yeah, it's cool.
When
I was 8.
Are we like having a super fight, but like about who's?
I'm being completely serious.
I love
like,
that game.
But like, is that what's going on right now?
I
like,
suppose so. Like we're trying to win you over.
All right. Now here's a real question: Who would win in a fight, the Pale Gorgon or the Alley Man?
Probably the Pale Gorgon.
It sounds like the Pale Gorgon would win.
Like any fight.
Well, we don't know what the Alley Man can do. All we know is that the Alley Man knocks over trash cans. We don't know that the Alley Man doesn't have like freaking bone piercers that come out of his freaking fingertips.
But I guess technically the creature from the top 10 cryptids could have made all of these creatures.
Yeah, the creature, the top 10 cryptids, like they would all team up and slaughter everybody else.
Well, no, but like literally, number 1, the unnamed cryptid,
the egg laying
one, would be the progenitor of all 3 of the other.
Also, we're not giving Karen a fair shake. I feel like Karen would annoy the hell out of these other creatures that they would like freaking blow their brains out.
Look,
so are we just deciding not to choose one?
Look, I'm the reason I'm cracking up is because the number 1, it's an egg laying thing. It all comes back full circle. The source, the origin of all cryptids, the origin of all evil on Earth is a kiwi with a mutation.
That's why we shouldn't let them become the ultimate species.
I changed mine. I picked top 10.
Wow.
So the kiwi-laden egg that gave birth to the Pale Gorgon, and an egg that gave birth to the Alleyman.
Also, I want to say that you could also make an argument that the number 1 cryptid was also a Karen on the top 10 cryptids.
Also fair.
Right?
Think of so with the cryptid writing contest too, think of what the spirit, like if you were to vote this like in the typical cryptid writing contest, what would you choose?
Okay, well, one thing I want to clarify before I make a final decision, because I right now I'm kind of more drawn to the alley man because of the as Eli pointed out, there's like kind of like more of a narrative to it. But I don't know if that's a fair judgment because like that's not like part of the ruling. We're trying to judge like who created like the best cryptid,
So,
yeah?
well, the idea is to create a story about a cryptid that you have come up with, and to keep to the spirit of the like what feels like an actual cryptid.
Right.
In the case, like, our winner was someone who wrote a story from a professor or a researcher who found a new creature, and it is described in detail, but it felt exactly how you expect a cryptid to be. And then the second one was a bit more humorous, written as a Reddit post about this pale raccoon.
That's right. Yeah.
Cool.
And the third was this kind of vehicle-like horror called the Detroit Harvester.
A vehicle whore?
Yes, a vehicle horror.
Yeah, transform horrors,
Like-
Benjamin. Keep up.
So
It was a sex fiend on wheels?
Yes.
Okay. Some people might describe me as that.
Not for 15 years.
Not for 15 years, cause of my rabies. All right. Well, okay. So, shit.
and
Also, did you actually legitimately change your choice to the top 10
No,
cryptids, or
no.
you going with Pale Gorgon?
I'm gonna stick with Pale Gorgon because
Pale
I think
Gorgon.
I think that's what I would have picked.
Okie dokes. Okay.
Just flip a coin.
Freaking no! I'm not gonna flip a coin. This decision has too much weight to it.
Yeah, about a quarter's worth.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I think I am going to go with the Pale Gorgon because there was a lot of like really well thought out detail. I like the creature, and there is like mythos attached to this. Even though I feel like the timeline doesn't quite make sense as far as the the written narration. But putting that aside, I think that it's a pretty creepy creature, and that like I want to reward this person for like putting in a lot of effort into coming up with the both the creature and like the framing of this creature.
Yeah.
So is your winner Pale Gorgon?
I guess
Sounds
so.
like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Congratulations,
So the writer
person.
for Pale Gorgon is HyperThermal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Uh,
Well done, HyperThermal.
and the,
I don't know you, but good job.
yeah, I know who
Congratulations.
he is. So I'll go down the line. So then we had you guys were debating between that and the Alley Man.
Yes.
Alley Man was written by Rika. I also know
Okay.
who she is
Okay.
as well.
Cool.
And
Well done, Rika.
Good job.
top 10 cryptids. I think you all know who this is.
Benjamin, who was it?
Was this Alan?
No, it was not Alan.
No.
No,
No?
this is
No,
Patrick.
Alan did not write any of these.
All right.
It was Zath.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
it was Zath.
Well, Zath, you done it again.
Karen was written by Skillfully, someone else I also know, and
Okay.
he did admit to me, he's like, because one of the things that was said was in the original was the story was when we mentioned one of the stories was disqualified. He approached me, he's like, oh, it must have been mine, because I did enter mine as a joke, and I'm like, well, what was yours? And then when he said it, I'm like, oh no, it's another one.
Oh boy.
So,
Oh yeah. I can see how it was kind of a joke. I mean, it was still cool.
Yeah. No, it was so good.
Yeah.
The Karen one, like there was a lot of funny elements to it, and I think the Karen story might have gotten a lot of the brunt of our criticism because it was like the first one right off the bat.
Yeah, we just hate the first thing we read.
That's how it goes.
Honestly, like a lot of times whenever I start reading a book, like I'm really cynical about the book when I start reading it. I'm like, oh, this is dumb. Why are they saying it this way? Blah blah blah. And then as I get further into the book, I'm like, all right, this is a good book.
Yeah, I can agree to that. You have to give a book a few chapters before you can, I think you can determine.
Because a lot of times you're like getting into the writer's mindset. So like when I start out, I'm not in their headspace. So I'm like thinking about things in a whole different like perspective. And so like it takes like a couple chapters or like at best like a couple paragraphs before I'm like okay, I'm feeling it, I'm moving, I'm grooving.
Yeah.
But congratulations, HyperThermal, for winning the Lost Cryptids contest. Your story is actually will potentially, most likely, hopefully within the next year, will be made into a Midnight Marinera short. I think.
Oh hell yeah!
So
That's
good.
That's actually a really cool story for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
agree.
That was one of the things I'm like, oh, a part of me is like, oh, it's gonna be. I hope it's either Pale Gorgon or Alley Man because those are much easier to make into
absolutely
Midnight Marinera shorts.
I will say though, you did a good job of being an impartial not impartial I guess impartial, but like overseer essentially. Not trying to sway us in one way or the other, and not giving us too much information. So
yeah, I did, because again, I know who these people are. Like, I actually know all of them personally, and I am grateful that it was only these four whose stories became quote unquote lost. Because I feel bad because again, it is a technical issue, but they all did write great stories, and it's sad that they weren't entered into the contest, but you guys got to be part of something a little bit more sillier or more
a little bit more
special.
A little bit more intimate.
You're all special to me, and I appreciate you letting me be a judge here and read the stories, and I hope y'all the people who wrote the stories feel that our commentary was fair, like what we were saying was only trying to help you grow as a writer, and also, I mean, like, sometimes we're just being silly, so.
And let's not forget,
we love you all.
All of you must remember, we're all pretty much dicks. We're all just jackasses, so.
Yeah! Big old al dente dicks.
Thank you all for, and this goes for everyone who entered into this Cryptid Writing contest. Your stories have been great. It's been a fun ride. I'm taking a break from contests for the next few months. Hopefully, if I hopefully someone else will run one.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
But
we should do a contest where you get to enter it. Have you?
Yeah,
I did.
I was thinking.
Funny enough, I did enter one of Cryptid Writing contests, and I won.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool if the audience created a contest and you all had to write?
We actually considered that at one point, but we were like, how do we do that? That's kind of tricky. And then how do we have people vote for it? And because it's like they would know it's whose story was what, I mean,
we have to
You could
take
put it
over.
up with no author's name.
That is possible.
Yeah, like one
like
of us could facilitate it.
We could hijack UCA.
Yeah.
Like all three of us could hijack UCA.
Yeah. And we could do the thing that you did where we take the names off of the stories.
Interesting.
And then we push them to like the community.
Yeah.
And they vote on it.
And the community votes.
And then we do the reading or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, what does the winner get?
A wiener.
A al dente dick.
I already have that.
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinara, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.